1984 by George Orwell is a sci-fi novel about a negative utopia. It takes place in London, England in the year 1984. England is ruled by a totalitarian group known as the Party. Big Brother is the leader of the party, although whether or not he exists is never revealed. Winston Smith is a lowly member of the Outer Party, those who work for the government but don't know of its inner workings. Winston detests the party and rebels against them, pushing their power to the limit. One of his co-workers, Julia, also dislikes the party and acts out against them in less cautious ways, being more concerned with the reward of rebelling than just sexual pleasure. Winston and Julia have an affair throughout most of the novel, hiding out in the Prole neighborhood. Proles are those who live reckless and uncouth lives, much like ours now, and have little supervision from the party. Another co-worker of Winston and Julia, O'Brien, is a member of the Inner Party. Winston suspects he is a member of the Brotherhood, a supposed organization against Big Brother. O'Brien later reveals to Winston that he is a member of the Brotherhood and initiates him into the organization. Later on, the Thought Police discover Winston and Julia and arrest them. In a psychological twist, O'Brien turns out to work for Big Brother. Winston is taken to the Ministry of Love and tortured and brainwashed by O'Brien. While Winston resists, in the end he is broken and ends up loving Big Brother. George Orwell wrote 1984 as a warning of what totalitarianism could become. Having lived among the poor, he saw how governments failed in their responsibilities to their citizens. When he wrote the novel in 1949, Nazi Germany and Fascist Italy were at their peak. Orwell wanted to show how in a span of just 35 years, a totalitarian government can control every aspect of life. This novel reminds me of Robinson Crusoe, in which Crusoe is stranded on an island alone and must recreate everything society once provided. Both novels explore the nature of society and the human mind as a hindrance to progress. In 1984, Winston is paranoid that he will be discovered, and therefore largely abides by the rules of the party. However, once he starts his diary in which he writes about his thoughts against the party, he adopts a fatalistic persona. With the understanding that he will be discovered eventually, gives him confidence to take more risks in pushing the limits of Big Brother's power. In Robinson Crusoe, the natural instinct and paranoia deter Crusoe from progressing. He is afraid that a storm will destroy his progress, or that someone else is on the island and will kill him in his sleep. The Bible is his comfort. He reads it to give him confidence and praise to God. Then he realizes his fortune for not dying like the other sailors. To show the potential power of the totalitarian state, Orwell gives the party control over language and history itself. Quote, "And if all others accepted the lie which the party imposed, if all records told the same tale, then the lie passed into history and became truth. Who controls the past," ran the party slogan, "controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past." End quote. By controlling history, the party controls every aspect of life. And by controlling every aspect of life, the party controls history. This is just one of several cyclical relationships that exist in Orwell's dystopia. In this way, the government controlled everything, which is the definition of totalitarianism. This level of control creates the nightmare of Winston Smith's life. This nightmare can be interpreted as nothing less than a warning to all readers of what Nazi Germany or Fascist Italy could become. In addition to the control the party had on history, they also created a language, newspeak, which sought to prevent citizens from being able to say rebellious things. Quote, "Don't you see that the whole aim of newspeak is to narrow the range of thought? Has it ever occurred to you, Winston, that by the year 2050, at the very latest, not a single human being will be alive who could understand such a conversation as we are having now? The whole climate of thought will be different. In fact, there will be no thought as we understand it now. Orthodoxy means not thinking, not needing to think. Orthodoxy is unconsciousness." Born from a personal faith in the totalitarian state, George Orwell sent a warning to the world through 1984. He created a societal nightmare in which the government controlled everything from history to language to one's thoughts. While he answered the question of whether or not to have a totalitarian form of government, he opened several more with regard to the limits of government to control society. If one controls history and language, can one control people's minds? This book leaves the reader with more questions than it answers, but succeeds in leaving them in fear of the power of the totalitarian state.